Challenges of a paperless office. There are many challenges to a paperless office. You can have the paperless, or most people prefer to go with hard copies and file cabinets. So I'm going to discuss the differences between paperless as well as a cabinet filing. Now, with a file cabinet, there are many kind of pros and cons of hard copy files. We're going to go ahead and start and discuss with the pros. Now, with the pros, there's physical files that can be stored in a file room. Now, these physical files are typically manila folders with files anytime any interaction is made with patients, customers, clients, in school districts with students. Every teacher has a file, every student has a file. Prior to a technical age, all this was done via folders. Everybody had a folder with all of their information from their transcript from elementary, junior high, and high school. So in each school district, every parent, every teacher, has a file from the day that they started until the day that they finished with the school district. Now, those files are stored in the school district in a big file room that's locked in a vault. There's pros about it is that it's in one big file cabinet, and if any information at any given time about any teacher is needed, then one can go into the file cabinet, pull out that information, and you have a hard copy right there. Now, all physical information is stored in one central location, so if that information is needed, you're able to go ahead and locate it, and then you won't have to worry about searching different folders, looking for it. You have that all information locked in one folder. Now, some of the cons of having hard copy files is that files can be misplaced. One can go and look for the file and then use the file and forget to put it back, or it can sit on a desk and possibly be misplaced, or fall into the wrong hands. Other things that can happen is the file can become damaged. It's sitting on a desk, a person can spill coffee, can eat over it. If you're one of those people that eat at your desk, you can eat over it and then possibly get stains on it. There's also things that can happen where it can, pages can get ripped out of it. Now, for hard copy files, there are no backups. So what you see in the file is all you have. And again, it only can be with it being a positive, it can only be stored in one location, but at the same time, it could be a negative. And the reason is because if a person's working at a specific school and wants the information, they would have to wait until they're able to go off campus, obtain that information, possibly make a copy if needed, and then go back and share that information if needed, if the school asks for it. So it's not readily accessible to any particular person at any given time. And another thing with paper copies is that there is very many room for human error because everything is done manually, and there is more possibilities for human error.
Here's some possible problems to have with paper files. Now, if there are paper files in a cabinet that in the office goes on fire, or there's a flood, the files are damaged. Now, I know of a few companies that had paper files. Everything was paper. There were no backups on the computers, and once the company was on fire, all the documents and all the information was gone. There was nowhere to be found. So all those years and years and years of business, the data was unable to be recovered. And the reason is because everything was in a file cabinet and everything was paper. Now, once that happened with these file cabinets and with paper files, although it's a good thing to have because they're hard copies and there may be some flaws in having them, but once that happens, once there's damage, whether it's a natural disaster, everybody think about it. All the companies that were in Louisiana when Katrina happened, all those documents are gone. School records, gone. Teachers' files from the day that they started to, their current time at that time, gone. So with these paper files, if any natural disasters were to happen, or any mishaps such as fires, flooding, all your information is gone, and there's no way to recover the data. And this information, unfortunately, is lost forever unless you have a backup somewhere else. Having a paperless filing system can be a very positive thing. Now, these documents stores all data into a central system. Now, this central system can be off a local area network, or it can be a wide area network. Even people within a home, they can share information amongst computers. Now, all the data is stored into the computer, and software can access this information from many locations, and that will be, like I said, through a local area network or wide area network. Now, many companies do have the ability, if they do have this type of filing system, to access any document from any location as long as they're tied into the network. This will be an ideal filing system for big businesses such as banks, mortgage servicers, big corporations like Microsoft, Google, people that have different offices in different states, different cities, different counties. If you have many offices, you want to have a way to where all your information can be communicated into one central network. And paperless filing would be the best way to do it. Now, another way that people can store their information, as well as just regular storing online in different file folders or on their computers in different file folders in their documents, they can also store in what's called a cloud drive or a SkyDrive. And it's all of your information that you share in your computer can be saved and retrieved from a remote location, or even into a cloud file. So if you have access to this, which is able to be stored into almost into thin air, but all your information, from pictures to videos to music, everything is stored in this one location in a cloud file, and everything can be retrieved from any given location as long as you have your password and your information for that cloud drive. Now, also, if your computer crashes, like I said, there will be a location where your sacred items to you are safe. Now, with this cloud drive, you're able to pull information, you're able to save information and share information, as well as pictures. You can share music with others that also have access to the specific drive. Now, it is password protected, and you have a way to just secure it to where it's only set for your information. And it's about the safest way to be able to keep and back up your computer without having disks all over the place to back up your computer, or USB drives, because those things can easily be lost. With a cloud drive, all you have to remember is just a username and a password, and typically the username is your email address. But this is just another form of personal paperless file. There are many pros and cons to paperless filing, but we'll go ahead and review some of the pros. Now, files are not all over the place. These aren't paper files where they can easily be lost, or where they can be damaged or misplaced. It's all on the computer, and you're putting all your information in separate files. Now, with paperless files, you're able to back up your information. You can store it on a CD, you can store it on a USB drive, you can store it on a cloud drive. But all your information is able to be accessed in some sort of another without having staff